Welcome back to the John and Linetia Show.
And our top story for today is Wrigley Field renovations. Exciting.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I think it's an interesting thing because when the Ricketts family bought the Cubs and they were looking at renovating Wrigley Field, they were looking to do. I mean, ultimately the project was going to be around $300 million, and they were looking to have the city kind of finance it, finance part of it, at least half of it.
Right.
And that did not go over well. Part of the problem was that the Ricketts' father was a big-time Republican, had kind of a big kind of smear campaign plan against Obama, and of course Rahm Emanuel was involved in getting Obama elected. So he was pretty ticked off, and so what the family ultimately looked at it and said, well, it's going to be very tough right now in the financial climate that we're in, and the cash-strapped city, to get any money from the city. So why don't we propose something else? And so the new proposal actually involves no money from the city. Absolutely none. The only thing that it does, that the city needs to do, or that needs to be proposed here, or needs to be part of it, is that some of the restrictions that the Cubs have, they're asking to be eased. So the idea would be, some more night games. That it would involve on days, on game days, kind of closing down Sheffield Avenue so they can kind of have like a street fair type thing. Right. Also allowing the Cubs to make changes to the outfield bleachers, because there's a current ordinance that basically they've got to get the okay, and it's kind of an onerous process. Right. So ultimately, what they're saying is listen, we'd like to do anything that any other team can do, and it makes sense to me because they're not asking for money.
Okay, but do you think that they're going to have enough to finish this project, or at some point they're going to go back to Rahm Emanuel and say, hey, we need some help?
Well, they very well might, because but that happens with every one of our sports teams pretty much.
And Wrigley Field does need renovation.
Oh, without a doubt, without a doubt. But you think about things like right now that the United Center for the Bulls and the Blackhawks. Now they're talking about building a practice facility next door to it, but they want the city to extend these certain $50 million a year tax breaks going forward. This is the same exact type of thing. Hey, if we're basically telling some sports teams we're if not giving them money, giving them massive tax breaks, we should do something for the Cubs. You can't basically say, okay, Bulls, Blackhawks, Bears, White Sox, you get all these tax breaks, and Cubs, no, screw you.
I would say that Rahm is just mad. So he's just mad.
He is mad in general, plus, the definition of mad being crazy, I think he's partly crazy.
But he's just mad because, it doesn't seem like, basically they support the president. So he feels like to get him back, he's going to hold out.
Well, yeah. You know what? He was mad at them kind of initially for that, but it was their father more than them. Their father technically doesn't own the team. Their father bought the team for him. Hey, kids, I'm going to buy you a team.
That must be nice.
It must be nice.
I don't know.
It must be nice.
All I wanted when I was growing up was a sitting spin. So
yeah.
I know I just dated myself, but that's okay. On Atari 2600.
There you go.
That's what I wanted. Oh, boy, I just did it myself again, didn't I? Okay, never mind. Yeah, but I mean, they need renovation. don't know if they're going to have enough money to do it. How much time are they giving them? Man.
Well, the Cubs pretty much what the timetable is that they want to. They really, and I think actually they wouldn't mind starting a little bit on some of the renovations before the current season starts in April.
Mm-hmm.
But I think ultimately what the plan really is to try to kind of nail things down so that when the Cubs season ends on the last day of the year, because of course they won't be going to the playoffs because they're going to suck this year, okay? When the Cubs season ends, then the renovations start.
Okay, but what about some of these Cubs players who want things to change now? You know, a lot of them are kind of uncomfortable with, not really uncomfortable, but they want a better space to work in, basically, you know, and they want that to happen now.
Well,
and they're saying, well, okay, well, if we do this, you know, maybe we have better players. And I'm thinking, I don't know about that one, but
yeah, I don't know that I don't know that anybody ever said like, oh, I'm not going to go to that team because their locker room is small. You know, I mean, who says that?
I don't know. We have a new generation coming up. I don't know.
The renovations happen; they'll happen, and
they want more workout area and things like that.
Sure,
more of a weight room.
And well, you know, it's a small stadium. They've got cramped quarters right now, and so the idea is to that's going to be part of the renovation project. It's kind of a shame that this kind of thing couldn't happen when it was owned by the Tribune Company, but you know, they didn't have a whole lot of money to spend apparently.
I'm assuming that not only these renovations going to be good for the players, but they also want to try to get more people to come to games, maybe.
Well, yeah, you're gonna add, you know, like restrooms, especially
more restaurants.
You know, concession areas, and also making the concession areas nicer. They're kind of
add some more
cramped and kind of
restrooms. Like
yeah, definitely more restrooms.
So, do you go see games at Wrigley Field a lot?
It's been a couple years.
Okay.
Pretty much because I'm not going to pay full price to see a crappy team. You know?
Okay, but if they were winning?
If they were winning, if they actually had a good team and it was worth it going, I'd go to a game. You know, I've got a friend that sometimes gets a block of season tickets, and I might, you know, he might ask, you know, we'll go to a game or two. So
you've been there?
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever been there.
You've never been to Wrigley Field?
I don't think so.
You've been to Comiskey Park?
Yeah, I've been there, but not really for a game. When I was in high school, we played there.
What?
Yeah, we played there.
You played? What were you playing?
Like the Star Spangled Banner or something like that at the beginning of the game.
Oh, so you didn't stay for the game?
I don't think so.
Wow.
No.
That's weird.
No. We just hired us to play the Star Spangled Banner.
But you would think they'd be like, okay, and we got seats for you.
Nah, they didn't do that for us.
Man, that sucks.
Life. I have pictures too. I'll have to show them to you.
Yeah.
I got pictures.
Yeah.
But I'm just wondering from your perspective, you know, do you think that this would help at all? Or do you think that
improvements are always good? Yeah. I think it's great. You know, I mean, they say that they're building the team as far as the players, so that, you know, maybe next season or the season after they'll actually be in contention. And you know, Wrigley Field is a dump.
Okay.
It's always been a dump as far as I've known it.
Okay.
You know, and people love it, but quite honestly, you know what? People love Wrigley Field when they're sitting in their seats, but the restrooms are like a horror show. And the concessions aren't all that great, and there's so much walking, and it's you know, you're dodging falling concrete, you know, blocks and stuff.
Wow.
It's you know plus there's no parking, and it's like I said, you know, it's crappy. It's just not a fun place to be until you're sitting in your seat watching the game.
Yeah.
And even then, you're in a seat that's very narrow, and you got sides of the seat rubbing up against your, you know, fat hips.
Thank you. I didn't realize that was part of it. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's good. I mean, anything to help is good. I'm pretty sure that'd bring in more money.
Yeah, I think it's good
Two,
that they're going to try to do it without the city's financial help.
but at some point,
Well, they might ask, but again, if we're giving financial help to every other sports team in town and not the Cubs, you know what? If I'm the Cubs at that point, I think about moving outside of the city.
they'll get some money. Rama, because the Cubs are they are a reflection of Chicago. So
They are an institution.
They are.
Yeah.
They are. Well, thanks for listening to our podcast.